How are you doing? You know, I mean, you don't have to be an addict to come in and talk. You can be a person that knows a person or a person with an addiction. It doesn't matter what the addiction is. This live is about all addictions, basically, but it's mainly, you know, subjected for the suffering addict and alcoholic and recovering addicts and alcoholics, you know, and living the life, you know. But like I said, addiction is addiction. And I know that the 12 steps that we follow can work for anything. You know, they are awesome. And it's an open door, you know, just by coming to believe in them. You know, it works for me. I can say that. And, you know, I always have to say every show, you know, I'm not a doctor, lawyer, Indian chief. You know what I mean? But I am a grateful, recovering addict, living the life, you know, of addiction. And, you know, I keep things on the eye, you know, so that, you know, it doesn't sound as if I'm telling you what to do. Is that my sister Dion? Hey! Love you, sister. You know, good to see you on. I mean, I'm just loving this thing. It is so great. I can't wait for Wednesdays. You know, it never seems to surprise me, the people that, you know, are listening and people that are very much interested in this. You know, I always told you I wanted to do this. I knew one day this would happen. Okay? Loving it. Loving it. What's up, sis? You know? Hey, Nye. I see you. Edward, you didn't respond. Respond to me. We need you. We need you on this live. I need your help. You know, I need you to come in and help me help people. That's what we do. We give back what we got, you know, to help the next suffering. Everybody is always a suffering before you become in recovery. You know, it's a newcomer. You know, I hope I'm helping the families that's getting a chance and opportunity to hear and learn some things about how we work, you know, as an addict with a disease, and, you know, to get to understand, you know, that it's never love lost. It's just the brain freeze of the drugs and the alcohol that will take our emotions, you know, because as an addict and alcoholic, we work with no emotions. Hey, Ange. Hey, I'm getting a chance to just see some of you that pop on, and I don't want to, like, you know, miss people, because I see how, you know, when people are tagging on and I get to talking, hey, Chanel, how are you? And like that, and then I'll miss the name. But I got a pretty good setup now that's helping me with that part, you know. So again, I was telling everybody, you know, to come on in and, you know, ask the questions, you know what I'm saying? Talk about what you want to talk about. There's nothing wrong with talking about anything that you talk about. You know, when you're ready to surrender, hey, I can let people listen to my story all day. You know, I know it takes some time to get there. You know what I mean? But if there's any questions or anywhere you feel like you stuck or confused, you know what I mean? Put that question up there. Like I said, there's no wrong or craziness or nut stuff that you could say when you're trying to get better. You know what I mean? If you don't understand it and you need to understand it your way, that's the best way to get to understand it. You know what I mean? And like I said, if I can answer it, I'm going to give you what I have. If I can't, I'm going to suggest to you who you need to see, or, you know, give you some information on different organizations that can help you. You know, so again, come on, let's get this on and let's get this in. I was trying to figure out, because I don't read or study what I'm gonna say. I just speak straight from the heart, and I make my topic whatever the topic, you know, comes up and can be, because I like to keep it real and I like to keep everything on the straight and narrow. You know, today I look, the dark clouds just keep floating over my head. You know what I mean? I lost a cousin today. You know what I mean? And he was on his way in the yellow brick road. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, like I said, society, it ain't shit. Society, you just can't control. You know, and that's pretty much where we from the world, you know, and when we get into this world, into society, and the things and choices and the behaviors and the world we start living out there, change is great for us, but it's nothing to them. You know what I mean? So, society is built with rules, and, it doesn't matter whether or not you want to make change in it. The rules stand the same. It's wicked. It's just poisoned. It's just crazy. You know what I mean? And y'all know as well as I know, there's a lot of crazy things that's going on out there. And unfortunately, a lot of times it's our babies. It's our babies. And they have no common sense whatsoever. Chanel, you're saying, how do you help? Let me get my glasses because I'm blind. How do you help a sibling that has been using off and on for decades, shuts you out, blame you for their situation? Hey, Tracy, let me tell you this, girl. When we're working with this brain like his that is broke up into all these puzzle pieces, I told you it's like in the Matrix. You know what I mean? He doesn't know how to tell the truth or surrender to what he has done. He feels as though that, well, I'm going to say, when I was in my active addiction, we feel as though that we are the victims. You're the one that's victimizing us, but actually it's vice versa. We're victimizing you and everything and everybody that surrounds us. And once disease has control of us, as he does with this person that you're talking about, you know what I mean? Everything is, we don't hear you like you right. We hear you like you coming at us. You know what I mean? We ain't really done no wrong. If he's been in and out of recovery, every time he picks up, his thinking is going to go right back to where it used to be. Actually, it's going to get worse because the guilt gets stronger. And that means disease is getting stronger and more powerful and has locked him back in till that he can't make a rational choice or a rational decision or see that this is him. He really believes that you coming at him. You know what I mean? It's a crazy thing, but that's what happens when we, hey, Jack, when we, go back out and we relapse. It's the wozy me. I'm the victim. You know what I'm saying? I'm sick, because a lot of addicts or alcoholics, we use that a lot too. We'll use our sickness just as well as we try to help our sickness. But when we're not there and we're not registered, and talking on that defense of ourselves to get better, you know what I mean? And disease grabs us again and knock us back down. We right back where we left off. So there's no understanding this. You know what I mean? It's all about, okay, back to the drawing board. I'm a fight for this. I'm a lie for this. I'm going to do everything that I used to do for this. I don't need family. I don't care who you are. You know what I mean? But do they mean it? No. But are they lost? Yes. That's my answer to that. You know what I mean? I don't care. I don't give a fuck attitude. I don't want to hear that shit. You know what I mean? It ain't this, it ain't that, and it's everything that you're saying. But what you're doing is great by listening to some information and education that I'm offering you and giving you so that you can understand him. You can't save him, you can't stop him, and you can't make him stop. When he gets that, I don't want this no more, I'm not going to do this anymore, that's when it's going to be done. And disease is so powerful. Excuse me. Disease is so powerful, it's messing with him, it's jagging him, it's reeling him in. It doesn't want him to get better. It wants him to go to either jails, institutions, or death. And yes, it affects you and it affects the family, but it's affecting him more because he can't seem to grab it. He can't seem to make the decision to stay clean, So for me, I'm going to say when you use and you pick back up again, it's because you choose to. And once you choose to, it's going to become because you want to. And once you want to, you're going to go right back where you left off. And it's just going to start all over again. And it's going to get worse than it was before, and you're going to get more aggravated. You're going to get more scared. You don't want to lose him. And you don't want, you get angry at him and all these things, is what happens, but know that it is his choice. It is his choice and his decision to say, I'm done. I'm not going to do this anymore. I might sound a little harsh right now, but it is what it is. And this is how it works, you know. And when he chooses to, when he gets high, it's because he chooses to do it. You know, he hasn't quite made his mind up to say, I'm done. I'm not doing this anymore. You know, he didn't go back to his homework. He didn't go back to his medication. You know, he went back to the most powerful thing that's fighting him, that it's a hard battle with, and sometimes we don't win. You know, so pray for him and don't fall back from him. You know what I mean? Just keep praying for him and still talk to him, you know, and let him know, you know, you have to make a choice in your life, or if he can't come around, he just can't come around, you know, because we have to live and let God. I hope I'm not talking too fast on this particular question, Charnel, but he is where he wants to be and he chooses to be, you know, and until he doesn't want to be where he is and where he chose to be is when that is going to make a change, you know. You can pray for him like I'm praying for him, you know, because we pray for all suffering addicts, you know, and we just hope and pray that he can get it because he knows how to do it. It's just that he's not fighting it enough to want to do it. You know, it's all about a want and not want, you know. But again, don't forget with everything I share with you all, that disease is cunning, baffling, and powerful. And once it separates your thinking from your emotions, hey, there's the battle, man. That's the dis-ease that I was talking about, the DIS/EASE, and that's where he is. You know, and again, he'll go right back to being who he was and feeling like, you know, you too hard on him and, you know, he's the victim. But he just, at the time of being back under the influence of these drugs, he don't see him being the victim, you know, the victimizer, as he sees himself being the victim. So I hope, let me see. You are so right, because he is extremely defensive to everything. Absolutely. He's feeling guilty. Don't think he's not. You know what I mean? And he knows what he did is what he did, you know, but the desire for getting high is more powerful than all of that. You know what I mean? So he's back to the point where he can't help himself and he has to surrender all over again. He needs to start from the very beginning with his medication and let him know that, you know, tell him he needs to get back in that 12 step. You know what I mean? He needs to make meetings. He needs to call a sponsor, you know, and if he keeps denying, it's because that he just don't want to. He don't want to get help. You know, if he's come to you saying that I want to get help, I want to get back to it, that's what he's going to do because he knows how to do it. You know, he definitely knows how to do, but I can't speak, you know, on, you know, for him. I'm just speaking on how I know that this thing works. You follow? You know, and just the suggestions of, you know, just try to keep talking to him into getting help again. You know what I mean? Last time I know you told me how he went away and he got clean. You know what I mean? We don't want it there, but that is jail. You know what I mean? And rehab is institution and death is gone. You know what I mean? So, you know, just keep praying for him, you know, and hope that he can make this decision, you know, to say, I'm tired of being sick and tired once again. Any of you, hey, Patricia, you know, you were awesome last week. Thank you. Hey, Vanessa. You know, I hope that you do understand, Charnel, you know what I'm saying? But I know that you love him and you show that, you know what I mean? But keep being educated by the information that's being offered to you because it's going to help you to help yourself too. You know what I mean? Not feeling guilty, not feeling like you doing things that's wrong. You know, you're doing everything that's right. You know, it's him that's fighting the battle. It's not you. You know, and the only person that can win this battle is him. You know, he definitely has to do it himself. And he has the ammo to do it. It's just that right now, disease has got him. You know, it got him. That's all I can say about that right now until he's ready, you know, to start kicking disease ass again. But he does know how to do it. You know what I mean? So, like I said, we're just going to pray for him and keep praying for him. You know, but you keep understanding what's happening with him. You know, hey, Nellie. You know, Pat, you know, I'm awesome. Hey, Pat, I'm just doing what I do, hon. You know what I mean? Like I said, I love this live thing. I didn't used to be into it, but I sat down one day and it was like, damn, I'm going to try this live, to see if I can go on here and start helping people, with drug and alcohol addiction. But here we go. It's very much helping people. I'm not trying to be an Oprah or none of that kind of shit. People be telling me about the numbers and the letters. I ain't about that either. What I'm about is getting this message out to try to help people learn how to help themselves, and how people can live with these people that are sick, because that was my life as well. Nelly, you were saying, what's the next step when the person is getting maintenance but still using, like their treatment's not working? Well, again, they have all kinds of maintenances out here for us now. You know what I mean? Because, it's a mental health thing, so mental health comes with medication, and sometimes we, we get the medication and because we want help, and in the mind, that's what we're doing it for, the help. But then in the mind of an addict, and you give an addict another opioid, or medication that can get them high, make them feel different, disease is right there, like I said, like a double hit. You know what I mean? Oh, man, I'm getting Suboxones. Oh, man, I'm getting this. Oh, man, I'm getting maintenance. You know what I mean? A diseased mind that wants something for comfort disease is always there to make you look at this comfortness differently as to help you. It'll be like a little start, a high. It can cause another addiction if the mind frame is not there for the help from it. I'm not saying the medications don't work, because they do. That's for people who's striving and fighting for their life, to get off the actual drug that they're using, but when you're just in it, just to, get lit, hey, that's what we do, and we know how to act to make you think that, they really hurting and this is not for me. Because don't forget, we liars. We're living liars. We're walking liars. We know how to act. We know how to make you believe anything that we want you to believe. You know what I mean? Until we get caught up in the lies, and then you can see. You know what I mean? You can see what's going on and what's happening. But 9 out of 10, we're going to take that shit. We're going to take it. We're going to get it. You know what I mean? And we're going to use it. You know what I mean? And thank you for starting my day, basically. You follow? That was the life of methadone, and those are the type drugs maintenance that you're talking about. You know what I mean? We're addicts, and we use drugs. We have an addiction that's cunning, baffling, and powerful. So anything that's going to make us other than hurt, hell yeah, we're going to take it. Absolutely. And I'm not saying that everybody don't use it for a good reason. You know what I mean? But as an addict, it takes a lot to get there to use it for a good reason. Tonight, what do you think about these new drugs and the effects that they have on the young generation? Absolutely outrageous. I do. You talking about stuff like Subutex, Suboxones, and all that kind of stuff. For me, personally, I think that, again, these drugs, well, I'm going to say medications. These medications was developed to help the addicts and alcoholics. Again, we are addicts. We are alcoholics. We are out of control. And we don't like to hurt. We don't like to feel the ailing part of getting high. So if you offer me something that's going to help take that away, you're damn right I'm going to take it. You know what I mean? And if I keep taking it, I come to depend on it, I just have another dependency. You know what I mean? Recovery for me, I'm from old school. You know what I mean? And we didn't have much stuff and things like this. You know what I mean? It's like we have to, go hardcore with it. Again, but today they have other things now that they offer, like some of the things I just said that they offer. If we're abusing it, we're going to abuse it. If we're going to use it for help, it's going to help us. Again, it depends on how strong, how your mindset is made, for this, and it's free. You can get it. You follow? It's easy. I've seen it working in a lot of people. And again, for a lot of us who are just, using the system, you know what I mean, and getting everything that we can get free. Like I said, you know, rehabs is open doors today. You know, you have some that come in that wants to help, and you have some that come in that will use the help, you know, and I could keep that one quick and short, just like that. You know, because I do work in a rehab. I do see a lot. I don't put a rehab down, but I can tell you the truth of what I see in the addict, you know, because I'm an addict and how the addict thinks. You know, do I think it's helping people? Yes, it's helped the people that wants to be helped. You know, is it hurting people? Yes, it hurts the people that don't want to be helped. I'll leave it and put it at that, if that can help. Hey, Rabia. I'm glad you're feeling better, too. They need to listen to hope is still there. Or does that mean help is still there? It's very hard for us to think on a positive, you know, because disease is that cunning, disease is that baffling, and it's that powerful, you know, and we can't think rationally, you know, if we're not willing to want to get better. You know what I mean? If we're just conniving and we're using the system and we're using everything that's free, that's just what we're going in there for. That's just what we're going to do. You know what I mean? But if you want it to get, like, to help yourself, you have to learn how to get that brain, the pieces to the puzzle, back in the pieces where it needs to be. You know, because it is definitely a mind blaster. You know, it's so much out here now that it actually, you know, enables a lot of people who are sick. I'll put it that way, you know, and a lot of addicts look for it for comfort, you know, but can it help them? Yes, it can, if they choose to be helped and want to be helped. I'm not going to say that it doesn't, because it do. But as, you know, the way we think and the hustle that we got, hey, we're going to use that thing for getting high, just like back in the day when it was just methadone. Hell, that was their early morning hit for some of them. Some of them it helped who wanted to stay clean, but the ones who didn't, you know, use that methadone for an early morning hit. If anybody is on here that have lived that part in your recovery, hey, share. Let people know how that works. You know, it's all about where you are here. It's all about if you want the help, you know. Not all of us that go in for help in rehabs. A lot of us go in for the comfort, you know, let me get a little peace. Let me get, you know, some food. Let me sleep in a bed, you know, let me get some medications, you know what I mean? Because they're there, you follow? And then some come in to get help, you know, but it's always offered. I'll say that, you know. So I hope that can answer a little bit. I can only tell you what I know and what I feel. You know, that's why, you know, all of this is based on the I. And like I'm saying, I'm not a doctor, lawyer, Indian chief, but I am a grateful recovering addict. And the drugs that they do today, oh, they ain't nothing like the damn drugs that I was on. You know what I mean? They done spiced this shit up to another level and to another generation. You know what I mean? And God knows, because I work in a rehab, is how I keep up and keep in touch and see how this thing works in our people, you know, and how it affects them, and the fentanyl. I mean, all the drugs was changed. The names was changed. You still got cocaine. You still got heroin. You still got crank. You still got weed, but they done changed that shit to some other shit. Like when I was smoking, it was Gunji. And when I was smoking, it was Buddha. And that's a real name of a weed. You know, when I was doing cocaine, it was Yayo. You know what I mean? In generations, the names change. And then nowadays, everything is changing. They're putting more drugs in the drugs that you don't even know that are in the drugs. And they're psychotic drugs. You know, they are tearing the people up. They are killing our mothers, grandmothers, fathers, sister, brothers, children. You know, one hit can hurt them so bad today. It has gone to a level that's way beyond where I was in drugs. And all drugs kill. You know what I mean? Disease is cunning, baffling, and powerful. And all drugs, all poison kills. You know, but today, this shit is to the point where they just dropping off. You have people saying, I don't do fentanyl. Well, you do it now because it was in your cocaine. You do it now because it was in your meth. You do meth now because the meth is in your meth, your heroin. You know, they're just mixing shit, mixing all kinds of stuff in the drugs to a point where what is Suboxone going to do? You know what I mean? What is all these medications? They're trying to help our people to stop using or to help them to slow down in using. When every time you turn around, something else is being mixed. Stuff called crocodile that dumps the skin up. You know what I mean? It's psychotically crazy out here with the drugs. And this is why I'm on this live, so we can help people know and understand that, and family members understand how crazy it is out here. They can put these things in your drinks. You know what I mean? They can put these things in your food. You know, people is doing drugs all kinds of ways today, you know, and don't even realize what they doing. You know, some don't even know that it's even there. Like they come in with marijuana. You know what I mean? Hell, they done made marijuana free now. You know what I mean? Not free, but legal. You know, but the marijuana on the street is poison. You know what I mean? So it's like everything has changed. This thing is never going to stop, and it's not going to end. This is why we have to get this information out to you so that you can know this and want nothing else to do with this. Yes, it's hard to recover. I'm not going to tell you that it's easy, but it is possible, and it can happen. I know that for a fact. I see it all the time, and you have to fight this thing and want to get better. You know, a lot of us out here know they slipping in with them Percocets and all that stuff they taking out here. You know what I mean? And getting addicted to it. You know, it'll show. It's going to show. Drugs, something about disease that it won't let you see. It's going to let you see that you got that person. That disease has that person. It's going to change that person. It's going to change them or kill them. You understand what I'm saying? And it's going to allow them to think that it's okay. It's going to allow them to think that nobody can see the difference in you, and you can't even see the difference in you because you don't even think like you used to think about no more. You think like a junkie. You think like disease got you trapped. Got you upset that you don't even know yourself no more. So that's when you become the liar, the manipulator, the con artist, the thief, the trick, the hoe, the I don't care. It takes you away from being a parent, takes you away from being a human being. It won't allow you even to know what self is. These drugs are vicious out here. That's why I say that all the time. That's why it touches me all the time. When I see these people that comes in these into my workplace, in these rehab, or watch these people in the street, you know what I mean? And knowing that I'm a junkie myself, and knowing how hard it was for me and how bad it was for me when I was out there, it is 5 times harder, 10 times harder for the people who are getting high today. Y'all know it. It's somebody in our lives or in our families or somebody that we know that we're watching this shit. You know what I mean? And now you can't even keep an aspirin unlocked. You know, this thing is baffling. It's cunning. It's not going to stop. So we have to put the word out to try to help people to want to stop and let them know that life is not over. Life is not going. We just got to learn how to do it. And I have a program that can help you called the 12 Steps of Narcotics Anonymous or the 12 Steps of Alcoholic Anonymous. And the information in there is fantastic. It is definitely a winner if you come to believe. And a lot of people that say, oh, I don't know about those programs. Them programs don't work. That's because you give up. That's because you give in. It's going to be hard. It is hard to become unaddicted to anything. Cigarettes, shopping, love, whatever it may be. It's always a fight that's going to be put up because guess what? That good side, the devil, and that bad side, that bad side, the devil, and that good side, the angel, get the rumbling. You hear what I'm saying? But when you are messed up and you are toe up from the flow up, you can't. You're going to be right over here. And it's going to be so painful that you're going to run from it. You're going to give up to it. Or you're just going to say, I can't. And that's bullshit. You can. I know. And I also know it's hard. Now, hey, Nye, I ain't seen you either for a while. I'm loving that you back on. And I know everybody can't get on every week, but I love to see the people who comes back in and you go in and out. And you can always see these lives on YouTube because I am on YouTube. And throwing up a little bit of, what you call the other one, TikTok. You're throwing up that TikTok too. I'm trying to get it out the best way I can, to help people, because that's what I promised my higher power, and I am there. I am there to do just what I set out to do and to fulfill my promise to my higher power, whom I choose to call God. Trust me when I tell you that. There's no shame to it. There's no game to it. But anything that I can do or anything that I can say, this is why I share my story majority of the time, because this thing is based on the I. I don't know everything. I'm not a doctor, lawyer, Indian chief, but I am a grateful recovering addict. And I do have a lot that I could talk about that I've been through. And I have a lot that I could talk about because I'm a drug and alcohol counselor. And I've been doing this thing for a very long time. A very long time. And my heart is planted on helping people. Helping you helps me. It keeps me clean. It keeps me on top of my game too. And again, I don't know everything, but anything that I can offer you and I can give you in what I do know in the education of drugs and alcohol and using drugs and alcohol, believe me, I'm willing and always open, and honest about it all. I can't keep nothing in that I did because I wouldn't be telling the truth, and the truth in recovery will set you free. You know what I mean? And it teaches you how to love yourself. You have to learn how to love you, and that's what everybody that's using out there uncontrollably like that. They don't love themselves. They don't even know what love feels like. They don't know what truth feels like. They don't know what you coming at them. The only thing they can see in you that wicked ass disease will allow them to see is you coming at them. You know what I mean? And then that puts up on their shield. Their shield comes on, and then they don't love you no more either. That's what they'll tell you. You'll go back and forth and say all the nasty, crazy things to each other. You know what I mean? And you be fighting each other, and disease, that other little head that you got that's thinking for you, is like, that's right. You don't need them. You need me. Get all fucked up. Get all round up and go out there and get me some food. Feed me. Feed me, Seymour. That's what it's saying. Like the little Shopper Horror shit. The little plant that was so cute. And then he couldn't get no more blood. Then he turned into a beast. And he couldn't get that blood. So now I'm going to eat people. I'm going to tear your people up. I'm going to eat you too. But you better feed me. You better feed me. And this is what disease says inside our heads. Disease is like, I'm going to get you one way or the other. You know what I mean? I ain't never going to let you think. I ain't going to never let you love. I ain't never going to let you be a mama. I ain't never going to let you be a person. I'm going to make you crazy just like you are. And you going to feed me whenever I say do. You're going to do as I say and do what I want you to do. And you ain't got no damn control because you don't have no emotions because I took them from you. That's why you can't do it, because I got them. So guess what? Do what I say do, and I don't care if you die. Damn. That is so true. That is so true. You follow? I don't care about you being a mama. I don't care about you being a friend. I don't care about you being a human being. I'm going to take you out. And if I got to take you to jail first, that's fine. If I got to take you to an institution, that's fine too. But my goal is to kill you, because that's the things that we're doing for it. We're poisoning ourselves. We are poisoning ourselves and our minds that we can't think. You better had been on here, Gary. He is crazy. Okay. Hey, what is this, Letty? How you doing? Thanks for coming on. I appreciate everybody coming on. I appreciate everybody listening. I wanted to talk a little bit too last week about gratitude, but when you send me those questions in here, I got to feed them, and give you the best information that I possibly can give you. And I know it's a whole lot of other people that I even know that can come on here and help me give it to you their way. You know what I'm saying? I don't care if I got to say the same thing over and over and over again. It takes that to get better anyway. It takes that so you can hear, learn and listen so that you can hear, and then you might see. This is why I say, if this is for you, write these things down. Write a lot of these things down. I'm going to go through some of these steps again, because you can't go through it one time and get it. You got to go through it all the time. You follow? Hey, Tiffany, you got to go through this all the time. You got to keep this medication on deck. You got to keep it on board. Again, it's always there for me. I keep this thing. I keep the writing book. I keep the NA book. And I keep the AA book. You follow what I'm saying? Because everything I need is in them. And I know that. You know, and I am truly want to live. I want to live. I want to do all these things that I have been able to do today. I want to understand me. I want to understand and accept the things that I can't change the things I can, and truly have the wisdom to know the difference. And that's dealing with people, places, and things. This is the life for me now, like society used to be my life. You follow? I learned how to live in society. I did what society expected of me. I felt like I was somebody out there, and guess what? All I was out there was wearing masks, frauded, trying to be somebody that I'm not, didn't even know who I was, went through the life of drugs and alcohol, okay, found recovery, and now I'm living once again. How about that? You know what I mean? So I know that this thing works. You know, I know that what love feels like. You follow? I have feelings now. I have strong emotions now, even stronger than it was before I became the junkie. You know what I mean? I can surrender and tell you that I'm a junkie, I'm a hoe, I stole, I did everything, because that's what a diseased mind do. And I had no control over what it was telling me to do until I hit the rock bottom and learned how to fight it. Learn how to get this shit in check, in control, you know what I mean, and learn the information, education that it took me to get it, okay, which I do today. I ain't cured, because none of us are cured. This is not a curable disease. This is a disease that you have to learn to live with for the rest of your life, and it goes in remission, and that's where it is. And my job is to keep it there. And that's learning how to deal in this world with people, places, and things. And just having the willing to want to stay clean and love myself as much as I do. People call me selfish, but that's okay. You know what I mean? I can handle that. I can see you looking from the left, or you looking from the right, or you think she thinks she this now, or she thinks she know everything now. No, I know what Tracy needs to know. You understand? I know how Tracy has to live. You follow? I know that disease is cunning, baffling, and powerful. I'll say it 1,000 times. I'll say it 1,440 times, you know, a day if I have to. But guess what? I take my medication. I take my medication like I'm supposed to. Like I said, I'm dealing with a sickness. I'm taking the medication for that too. You know what I mean? I don't like it. I don't want to. And sometimes I don't even want to follow what I know I have to follow sometimes, but I know it's needed and I have to. I do know for a fact that I don't want to be living the lifestyle of a junkie. I don't want to be living that lifestyle of when I was out there doing all the things I was doing. I love the growth of being a mother, a sister, a brother, a friend. You know what I mean? A counselor. Keep it coming. Keep it coming. Just keep it coming. You know what I mean? But one thing I know for sure is what love is, because I love the hell out of myself. I really do. And it's not the love that I had before I experienced all the necessary shit with the junkie, you know what I mean, and being out there, you know what I mean? This love is real. This love is untouchable. You follow me? And it doesn't matter who tries to affect it. You know what I mean? I won't allow them to. You know, I have to keep myself on the straight and narrow, and I have to love me, because if I don't love me, I don't love you. I don't love the children. I don't love anybody. You know what I mean? And that mental part of becoming unloved again will take me right back where I left off when I was using, because all I'm going to have to do, I got to have somebody somewhere, you know what I mean, doing something, but it won't be Trey. It won't be Trey. And I won't allow anybody to wake Trey up, because see, some of y'all just don't understand the lifestyle that we have to live. You know what I mean? You think because you know us and we doing this and we doing that and we doing great that it's over. We not sick no more. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. I want y'all to give me a hell yeah, the ones of you that's in recovery. We got to always know that we sick. We got to always know that this disease is cunning. We got to always know that it's baffling. And we damn sure got to know that it's powerful. You hear what I'm saying? If you're not hearing, listen. You hear? Listen. Because listen is going to allow you to hear what I'm saying. You know? And then you might see. It's a vicious life. It's a vicious thing. It's a hard thing to do. And you always have to be remembered, because disease never go anywhere, because it's you and it's here. And you always have to keep it in remission, because she can always come back and take me over. She a vicious ass. Trey crazy. But Tracy's smarter, Tracy wiser, Tracy done calmed down, you know what I mean? Tracy loving life, Tracy got her ass in check. She no longer had me in check, not today. I can't speak for tomorrow, but today she don't, you know? And I whipped her ass yesterday too. That's how I came into today and was able to do this live. You follow? And I hope y'all hearing and feeling where I'm coming from with this. You can love yourself. You're going to know that love is so strong and love is so powerful, and love is the high. When I told y'all I first got high off of cocaine, hitting that pipe, that thing was beautiful. I'm telling you, I just can't describe it. You know what I mean? Not like I can describe this love. I'm describing this love to you, but guess what? That first hit can't touch the love that I have for myself today. That first hit allowed me to know how tricky and powerful that disease is. That was my introduction. And I know that it was my introduction. And I never felt that shit twice. I felt that shit one time. One time only. I watched many people die for still chasing that hit. I watched many people hurt. I see many people who couldn't even come back mentally today. You know what I mean? So go for it. And when you get it, you keep it, because it becomes treasure. Believe me, it becomes treasure, you know, and all the rewards that you will get from it, you know what I mean? And fighting this battle, you got to help other people fight the battle too. So that's why our stories is so important. Our stories is so important that we have to help the still suffering. You know, because it's not something that everybody can do for themselves. Again, I know people who stopped on their own. I know people who went in another direction. Well, get on here and share that too. You know what I'm saying? What works for you may not work for the next. What works for me may not work for the next. But what I know can work for somebody. How about that one? And this is why I'm doing what I'm doing. You follow? I don't care about being Tracy Allen. She's this, Tracy Allen. She's that. You know what I care about? I care about love. I care about helping people. You know what I mean? I care about giving back what I've got. I promised my higher power that I would always give this back. And I have not stopped since I've been clean in one way or another. You know, my life went from streets, rehab, to working in rehab. You follow? And I think that's pretty damn good, you know, and I'm going to continue to do this every day of my life. You know, even I don't see a junkie on the street. I see a person who needs help on the street. You know what I mean? I don't see an asshole, you know, or all the things that we're called. You know what I mean? I see a person that's suffering, you know, and understand the suffering of the person. You know, we have to stop and look at that drugs don't allow you to think normal. It don't allow you to think rational. Hey, when you get high and just having fun, the ones of you out there drinking and drugging and, you know, you sociable with it and all that, you ain't the same person you was before you started doing it. You know what I mean? It changes you. It changes your thinking. It changes your attitude. It changes your mind. You know what I mean? And if you keep on and keep on because you're feeling real good, it changes you more and more and more. And you can't tell me that that's not true. I know for a fact it's true because I'm walking the walk so I can talk the talk. You know what I mean? So you may not be out there like I was. You may not be out there like the people that's in some people's mind trash and the families that's shutting off, you know, their family members. Hey, look, that's your baby. That's your uncle. That's your mother. That's your brother. That's your aunt. You understand what I'm saying? That's your grandmother. You know, she's sick. They're sick. You know, they don't know how to stop. You know, this disease is cunning, baffling, and powerful, and it is that vicious. You understand? We don't want to see them die out there like that. I know we can't make them change. That is impossible, that they have to want to change. But don't think inside them somewhere that they don't want to. They just losing the battle. They're just losing the battle with this vicious disease. You know, we have some of us out here that say, you know, what you say is you control it. You know what I mean? I ain't taking that away from nobody. I ain't taking away you have fun from nobody. I'm talking about the ones that are suffering. I'm talking about the ones that can't do what you do. You know, I'm talking about the ones that started out like how you do, and now they in the streets. You know, now they're dead. You know, now they institutionalized. Now they're mentally gone. Now they psychotically gone. You know what I mean? And some of us just sit around and we talk about this shit like it ain't, you know, oh, she crazy now. She gone. She ain't this. She ain't that. She's sick, boo. She's sick. You know, and she don't know how to do it. When disease strikes, it strikes. It does just what it says. You know what I mean? It's going to kill you physically, mentally, and spiritually. It's going to get you. You know what I mean? And it also allow you to feel like, you know, you're strong enough to do these things, you know, but you depend on it. You know, you depend on it. You know, oh, I only get high on the weekends. Well, you look forward to those weekends. You know, why do you get high? Ask yourself the question. Life is beautiful without it. I could talk about getting high and now not getting high. You know, I choose to not getting high better than the getting high. You know, we can come off these things, but as we age, as we get older, damage is already done. We just don't know how much. You know, I haven't used drugs in a long time, but that don't mean it didn't do any damage because I also did them long enough for it to tear my insides up. You know, but did I believe that? No, I didn't believe that then, but I do know it now. I hope you hear me. I do know it now. And if you don't believe in it, that's okay. If you don't believe what I'm saying, that's okay. But that's to the ones that do. You know, like I said, I know it's going to be people on here that be like, man, I'm not trying to hear that shit. She talking some dumb shit. Hey, look, I'm not talking some dumb shit. I'm just delivering the message of what I know I lived. I'm delivering the message of what I know I see. You know what I mean? I'm watching people, you know, who has drank and drug all these years and your organs don't even work. I'm watching people who drink and drug and go in the hospital for the organs because the organs done shut down. You know what I mean? I'm watching these people suffer and die as disease said it will do, jails, institution, or death. And the main subject in this thing is death. You know what I mean? That goes to the hospital and need these organs and the organs don't work. You know what I'm saying? Because the organs has been beat up on and poisoned all this time. So if the poison kills the organs, I don't care how you drink. I don't care how you drug. It's going to do the same thing slower than it's doing to us. It's going to do to you. You know what I mean? Just a FYI, that's all that is, you know. But if you feel as though it's cool and you know how to do it, by all means, you know, I ain't mad at you. I know that I couldn't. I know that I realized that I can't anymore. I know I realized that I've learned a whole lot about this thing today. You know what I'm saying? And that I have to take and use my medication to live. You know, but I also have to live and let live. I also had to change my thinking, you know, because getting high is just not all of what you got to do. The most important thing, once you stop using, is just a part of recovery. You got to learn how to stay in recovery. And this is where the problem comes. And Charnel, this is something good for you too, you know, that I can add to you. You have to learn how to maintain your sobriety. You follow? You have to learn how to stay in recovery. And in order to do that, you have to change your people, places, and things. You know what I mean? You have to make changes, even if it's family, even if it's church, even if it's going to your job. You know what I mean? Even if it's just walking out the door in the community. You know, you have to learn how to change the people, places, and things to maintain your thinking. You are in control of this. You have to make these choices. And disease, that little voice that's up there, like I told you, like the little heat that's on your neck with you, will make you not want it. It start let you floating into your emotions. Oh, that's that's my main girl. I can't not be around my main girl. Well, you better make a choice between you and your main girl. This is how vicious this is. You got to make a choice between the places that you want to go. You know, you got to make choices from the things that you do. This is what this information here, the 12 steps of Narcotics Anonymous and Alcoholics Anonymous, and the books teaches us. You know, it's going to be hard to make certain changes. You know what? But if you learn to love yourself and you want to live, hey, those changes is well worth it. It is well worth it. You know, I don't owe society nothing. I don't owe them nothing. I don't owe the bars nothing. I don't owe none of that shit nothing. You follow? What I do is live for the day, and I love being in family. I love loving my family. I love loving my children. I love going places where I don't have to act a fool or be crazy. You know, we be crazy right here. I could be crazy at your house having a damn good time. And believe me, when I see people drink and get drunk, you know what I mean? It's like you don't see what you're doing. You know what I mean? This is why we deny shit sometimes. Girl, I know I ain't did no shit like that. Yes, you did. Yes, you did. And couldn't be stopped, couldn't be controlled. You know what I mean? Because poison is poison. And it won't allow you to if you take too much of it. And it'll have you become addicted to it, to look forward to it, that look forward thing, to look forward to it because it makes you feel different. You know what I mean? But then you lose control. It doesn't promise you that. This is why they say on the bottle you can only drink 1.0 point this of alcohol. Who the hell can take a sip and be okay? Ha! Really? Really? They cover themselves. Then you'll see the commercials. If you have an alcohol problem, call this number. Do this, do that. Well, goddamn it, you put the poison out there. The poison is in the markets. The poison is in drugs, you know, in stores. The poison is every damn where. You can't run from it. They're not going to change the world. You have to make change in it. And you're going to have to accept the fact that this is what you're going to have to do if you want to live drug-free, alcohol-free. Because it ain't going nowhere. Trust me, the only thing that can happen with that is you choose to make change and become sober and not use the drugs that they out here for you. If you get the opportunity to come off them drugs and get your emotions back together, because one can't work without the other. And when I say that, I'm talking about your thinking and your emotions. That is us. That is all about us. This is what we live, breathe, do everything with. Thinking and emotions. You follow? One going, the other gonna have a problem. You know what I'm saying? So you can't just use one, because if it's in your head, you know, and not in your heart, you know, because that's what disease control mostly is, the heart. Once the emotions is gone, the thinking becomes raw. The thinking becomes closed in. The thinking ain't got nothing to worry about or to feel nothing. So if you just in the brain, you know, we'll be there at times. This is what addicts do. This is what we do. Oh man, I'm not drinking no more. I'm not gonna get high no more. I know I need to stop. I gotta stop this. But then once you get down, and then the thinking get the headache, the thinking get the swelling, and the disease will let the heart, you know, connect with it. You know what I'm saying? And then you like, oh shit. But then once the connection is disconnected, you're just thinking about it. But are you really, honestly, truly ready to stop? You know? And that's when it's in the head. Sometimes it could be in the heart and not in the head. That's when we out there, we ripping, we running. We know what we did. It gives us an opportunity to think about all the stuff we did. You know, what we did to the kids, what we did to our parents. You know what I mean? What we did to the store, who we robbed, who we did this to. It allowed the emotions to start, but the brain won't be where the emotions is. The brain be like, shit, you know, I'm going right back out there and do it again. I got to get fed. So one can't think without the other. When the emotions and the thinking is truly involved, they got to connect back again and lock. They got to be locked and keyed, because we can't think in one of them. We got to be thinking connected in both of them, because that's what is destroyed. That's what disease does. It shuts us off and it becomes dis-ease. This is that dis-ease I tell you about. The DIS/EASC. You know, so we can't understand what DIS/EASE really mean and what it does. I like that. You know what I mean? I share that with everybody, all my clients, everybody, you know, and I write it out on a big board, and I always have everybody, if you haven't done it yet, write it down, put disease, DIS/EASC, and then underneath it put DIS/ a long slash. EASC, because that's not a simple thing that you're able to do, is to come and understand this disease just like that. It's periods. You know what I mean? It's periods. And it's like, it's 12 of them. You know what I mean? The 12 steps. It'll help you come to understand the power of sickness, the power of disease, the power of being disconnected. You know, and have the drugs and the alcohol as your food, as your vitamins, as your nutritions. You know, the body can't function off of that. The body needs the milk, you know, the fruits, you know, the eggs. You know, it needs food, it needs nutrition in order to function and to function properly. So when it's not getting any of that, and you're not eating, you know what I mean? You're not drinking water, you know what I mean? You just feeding yourself poison, because 9 out of 10 you can't eat when you're feeding yourself poison. Food means nothing. Only drugs and alcohol means something. That's what keep you running. That's what keep your motor going. You know what I mean? Not food, not alcohol, because you barely get a chance to eat anything when you become the junkie, when you become the stone alcoholic. You can't eat. It's very hard to eat for some. I have seen these people, you know, I've seen older people, you know what I mean, that has lived life off of drugs and alcohol. You follow what I'm saying? But those with those drugs and alcohol today, that shit done went somewhere else. You follow what I'm saying? Because this thing is getting more vicious and more cunning and more baffling than I ever seen it in my lifetime of getting high. You know, I'm scared of the shit. I ain't going to tell you that I'm not scared of it. I'm scared of it. But you know what? I ain't joining in with it. Not today. I'm not going back to it. Not today. It don't scare me enough that I want to use. It scared me enough not to use. You follow? Not to use. Okay, because I know that this thing can kill. I know where this thing takes you. We be walking dead. We be walking dead, but we alive. You understand what I'm saying? You already be dead. You know, you just say clock out. That's what it is. You don't clock out. I call it walking dead alive, you know, suffering, you know, just waiting to die. That's what I call it. You know, I call it the most powerful disease and monster in the whole wide world to me. There's one thing that I fear, and I fear today, and I'm going to always fear it. You know what I mean? Today, I can say this, that I ain't no challenge to it. And I always looked at me as being strong. I always looked at me as being that power girl. You know what I mean? I can get through anything. But that drugs, that alcohol thing, hey, look. Scares the shit out of me. I'm glad I got it in remission. I'm glad I'm in remission, you know, and I know that I have to stay there, and I know that I have to use my medication, you know what I mean, and always keep up on the education of it, you know, because this thing is cunning, baffling, and powerful, and you can't slip on it. You cannot slip on it. You wouldn't want to slip on it. Anybody hear me today? I hope I ain't going too far out, because y'all know I talk and I keep going and I'm going and I'm going, because when I do this, I'm like the Energizer Bunny. I do this the same way disease did me. I keep myself talking. I keep myself rolling. I let it know that, nope, I ain't got no room for you, because I'm going to talk about your ass like a dog. I'm going to try to help people learn how to help themselves. I'm going to try to let people know that this thing is powerful. This thing is cunning, and this thing is baffling, you know, and it is. And words are very vicious. Believe me, they are. And the truth is what I'm talking. The truth is what I'm telling. And you don't have to believe me. You don't have to, you know, believe in what I'm saying. Because, see, this is for me and how I feel about it. This is for me and how I work with it. This is for me and how I learned about it. But what I have, I'm going to share with you, you know, and maybe it can help you. You follow? Everything that you know about it, you can come on here and share it with me. You know, this is what I'm trying to get people to do. But some people just ain't ready for it. Some people just not ready to share, you know, the lifestyle of what they lived and what they done. Hey, people share for me. That's why I went to NA and AA. I listened to these people's stories that had no problem in sharing where this vicious disease took them. You know what I mean? And it taught me to have no shame to my game. This is why I don't have a problem with knowing. People on here, y'all saying, I didn't know that. I never saw you like that. Well, you know now, because I'm telling you. You know now. You follow? And I have no shame to telling you what I've been through with it. You know, because somebody helped me. I was the newcomer in the room. I was going to the rehab just to re-up. You know what I mean? Like a lot of them use the rehabs today. I was doing the same thing until I was taught. And somebody was talking to me raw. All that counselor shit didn't make no damn to me. I cussed them out. You know what I mean? But see, real raw and real suffering addicts started speaking to me. And I started feeling them. Their truth was killing me. And they helped me. Even when I gave them some shit. I will never forget Doc Watson. And I will never forget Reverend Levert Todd. Them jokers came down on me and came down raw and came down with the truth. They taught me how to pray. My sister also taught me how to pray. You know what I mean? The way she did it was real soft, but the way Doc Watson did it, it was like being hit in the head with a boulder. You know what I mean? Because back then there was structure in recovery. There was structure in the rehabs. Today is a whole nother day. And don't forget, I must say this, that even in rehabs, everybody is not for you. You understand what I'm saying? Everybody is not into it, you know, to love what they do. Sometimes it's just a 9-to-5 job. But you got a lot of us that is in there. You have a lot of recovering addicts that in there. And I'm not just saying we're the ones that you listen to, because you got a lot of people that are in this to help you, that has empathy and sympathy and understanding, you know, that have been up against this. If it wasn't themselves, it was somebody that they knew. You know what I'm saying? Any job can become sickening to you. Y'all work, y'all know what I'm talking about. Sometimes you hate to get up and go to work because of what's in the workplace. You know, that's a place, that's a people, places, and things for us. This is why I'm saying some of these phrases that I'm using can help you with the situations that you dealing with too, because they powerful too. You know, you have people that's in there that's there just to help you. You know, it's like that in the churches. It's like that in the community. It's like that, you know, almost everywhere you go. It's some people are really good. Some people really want to help people. You know, some people can give two shits. Some people can care less. You know what I mean? You're going to have to deal with that. You got to learn how to accept the things you can't change the things you can, and have the wisdom to know the difference. You follow what I'm saying? When you go in the rooms, NA and AA, it's people in a place doing things, you know, and everybody in there is in recovery. You know what I'm saying? So some of us just stop using, but some of us learn how to change our thinking too. You know, you can go into them rooms and they still looking at you like, I'm going to get her. You know what I mean? Because a lot of disease is cunning. You know, it'll make you think, okay, you stopped me from using. You're not feeding me no more. But what about the thinking? Don't forget, I got you. I run that up there. I'm going to disconnect that thing again. You know, but this allows us how to keep it connected. You know what I'm saying? The medication that we have to learn how to get clean also learns us how to stay clean. You follow? So yes, you're going to feel good. You're going to feel jolly. You're going to feel like, you know, you don't need this no more. Like I said, disease is always there. Disease is always there. It's right there with you. And you got to learn to recognize it. That little voice, that little thinking, that little attitude is everything that you do. And you have to know that. And you have to know the right from the wrong. But you can't stop halfway with the medication. You got to go all the way with the medication so you can learn how to stay clean. Because that's the most important thing, is to learn how to stay clean. Getting clean is one thing, but learning how to stay clean is the powerful thing. You follow? This is why we have relapse. This is why we have people that get cocky. That's what they call us. You can't get turned. You can't get right. That's what they say in the books. Don't get ripe. Stay green. You know, I ain't mentioned that in a long time, but stay green. You know what I mean? Because staying green keeps you on top of the whole thing. When you get too ripe, that's when you might slip. You know, and you might not think you need this no more. You know, and you can be clean for 20 years, 30 years, because I've seen them fall. You know, you can be clean for 5 months, 6 months, and you forget that you're an addict. You know what I mean? An addict is always an addict. An alcoholic is always an alcoholic. You know, we are people who are functional, living in a recovery life, and now we're living in a life to stay clean. You follow? You know, and for me, I know this. I got it. You know what I mean? Do I believe in it? Yes. You know why? Because seeing is believing, you know, and I see these things happen, you know, all the time. You know, one of my sponsors was clean for 52 years and relapsed. You know, a couple of my counselors back then that was recovering relapsed, you know. So for me, it's like, wow, this thing is cunning, baffling, and powerful. So I learned from all the things that it does now, and I try to keep myself on the straight and narrow with that, you know, and keep myself honest with myself. You know, I really, really, really hope that I can help somebody in these conversations that we have, you know, and you guys keep coming on and keep coming on, and you just keep me pumped and keep me pumped, you know. And like I said, sometimes we're going to talk, you're going to hear me say things over and over and over again because you don't get it one time. You got to keep hearing it. You know what I mean? You got to keep accepting it because it's going to become that medication for you. You know, it's going to become like something you want to hear, you know, every day. Don't think of it being, oh man, this is too much, this is boring. That's your sickness talking to you. Don't forget that little voice is always there. The sickness is always there. And right now you're whooping ass. You got it in remission. And don't think she tried not to talk to me because everything I know I shouldn't do or not supposed to do, I know it's her talking. You know what I mean? So you got to recognize the sickness and come to believe that you are sick and that voice is there. You know, everybody thinks before they do anything. You know what I mean? The conscience have to bring from the brain what in the emotions, what you're going to do, how you're going to do it, when you want to do it, the whole 9 yards. And when it becomes affected by drugs and alcohol, we got to know that it is in a whole nother world inside there, even though we're better. Even though we're better. And it's the medication that keep us well. So I know I'm coming into time. It always happened. You know what I mean? When to me things get to bulling inside me. You know, I love the questions because it keeps me active in a lot of things that I can talk about other than what I talk about. That's what this thing is all about too. You know, I just can't keep talking myself. I need you to keep talking and put me on another level of questions, you know what I mean, and answers that you're looking at. Sometimes I want to see, you know, on here you saying how well it's working for you, you know, because for me, and this is not being mean and it's not being nasty, if I got one person, my job is well done. You know what I mean? I was one person once too. You follow? And the job is well done. You know, when I get attention and people's attention and I get people interested in what I'm talking about and what I'm speaking about and why I'm trying to help people, you know, and if it's somebody that you are affiliated with or a family member or a friend's family member, I don't care who it is, somebody working on a job, you know what I mean? Try to get them to watch this live. You know what I'm saying? Because we run from truth. We run from help. You know, we sick. We don't want that. You know, but the ones that can squeeze through and come through who's ready for the help and ready to surrender, they'll sit down with you and they'll watch this live. You know, share this live. You know, post it, send it around. Because believe me, y'all, it's helping people. And from far as what these numbers are, that everybody tell me about these numbers, man, we killing them. You know what I mean? So let's keep on. Let's help them. You know, let's help people get better. Even help yourself get better. Because I know it's people watching who's dealing with this same situation, who's going in and out of recovery. You have to make a choice. You have to make a stand. And you have to want to stay clean and be willing to go through whatever it takes to get clean. You know what I mean? This is not really hard. It becomes simple. But disease will make you think you can't do it because it still has that mission, that line in between DIS/EASC, you just got to get it to close it. That's something else to you too, Charnel, for with the question that you asked me. He has to learn how to close that line. It can't have no space. That thinking and that emotion have to be like this and can't let nothing else come in between it to break it or loose because anything that's trying to break it or loose is nothing but sickness. It's nothing but disease. It's cunning, baffling, and powerful. Is vicious. And you have to learn how it works. You got to learn how it works. So again, my sister, that's something that he has to do. That's something that he has to come forth with, you know, and when he's ready, he'll be ready, you know, and that's for anybody that you can't force them. You can't make them stop. That's something that when this dis-ease becomes a part of you, you have to learn how to get you back. You have to learn all the rules, regulations, the information, and the education into how to do it, you know. And this takes self to do this, no matter how much we try to help them. You know, my family, my sister, my mom, them tried to help me too. I wasn't trying to hear that shit. You know what I mean? And then when I thought that I wanted to help, you know, my sickness made me really think it. I told y'all, I stopped using for a little bit of time. And then I went back and picked up when I thought, got a job again, got all that shit back on again, got a place again, all that shit, and started using again because I thought I was okay and I could do it different than I did it the last time. Ha! Well, I know I can't do that today. You know what I'm saying? I did it too many times. I know that that don't work. You know, and I also know that if I do choose to go back and use it, that shit took me back to where I left off, and it became worse, and it became worse, and it became worse. That's why I talk this shit, because I walk the shit. And I know that disease has no friends, and disease treat no one different. You understand what I'm saying? It is not a prejudice disease. This thing is open for all to kill. It is cunning, it is baffling, and it is powerful, and it's not prejudice. And it doesn't care how old you are, what creed you are, what race you are. It does not matter how rich you are, how poor you are. This thing is going to take you out. That's what it does. And I learned that. I learned that by learning how to listen so I can hear, to make my choices to see. You know, and I hope some of you hear that. I hope what we had tonight helped you. You know, I love those hearts. You know, to let me know that you hear me, you know, and that this was good for you tonight. You know, everything is not going to be good for you either. Every night is not going to be a great night. Every day is not going to be a great day. I learned how to live with that too. You know what I mean? But most importantly for my day is to stay clean. Most importantly for my day is to know that I'm sick. And most importantly in my day is to live. Let live and let God. So I know I held y'all up again a little over. Thanks for hanging in there with me. You know, I appreciate all the hearts. You know, again, I'm trying to, you know, get some people to come on and share with us. You know what I mean? And speak with us, because y'all there. Y'all on this live. I don't know what's holding you, you know, and holding you back. You know, you don't have to be on my couch. You know what I mean? Because I told you I'm inviting some people on the couch. You can come on this live and I can put you on there. You know what I mean? And everybody can hear you, see you still at the same time, you know? Share some of your stories on here, you know? And I can, so now, even if you, you know, write your, what is this called, Mir, when they write the little messages? Huh? Your comments. When you write your comments, you know what I mean? People going to read this stuff. People going to look back at it and they're going to read it. And your comments can help them as well. You know what I mean? So let's try to do, you know, all of that. This is what I'm asking you to do. So again, I'm getting ready to close down, you know, and shut off and wait for next week. I can't wait to see y'all again. You know, I get excited every Wednesday. It's starting to come just like that, and I'm loving it. You know, and I'm loving that y'all are loving it and coming back too on these lives. So again, don't forget, these lives are on YouTube and what's the other one? TikTok. You know what I mean? Let people know. Share this. Post it on your on your cable. Share cable. Girl, you know I'm crazy. You know what I said? Cable. I don't call it a show, cable, all kinds of shit. You know what I mean? But share it. You know what I mean? Send this message out. Bring people in to watch this with you. You know what I mean? That you think that it can help somebody. You know, help me help other people. You know, and again, I appreciate y'all, and I'll see you next Wednesday. Thank you.